because somehow I had it in my brain that if I was going to ever give my life to the Lord, um, He was just waiting with a plane ticket to Africa in His hand as soon as I would give it to Him. Has anyone thought that way before? And it's just like, I cannot give my life to the Lord because He's going to send me to Africa. But if you think about it, it doesn't make sense. You know, like, He would have to not like Africans very much. You know what I'm saying? Like, He's probably like, no, it's fine. I've got people that actually want to go. I don't really want to send you because you don't really want to go anyway. And it's sort of like the kid that's never swam before, it'd be like jumping into the deep end. So that was thank you for sharing that, and thank you for doing that with your lives. And it's a great story, and we could all, do communion in a second and do worship in a second, and we could go home. But lately, I've had this really strong feeling that we talk about watching church or doing church. And for the longest time, I think I used to go to church on Sundays, and I was watching church happen. That's church service, And even if you were like an usher, you could still watch church happen. Well, how many of you would go to a restaurant at dinner time and not getting anything to eat? Right? How many of you would go to the gym and not work out? Well, I mean, I have done that, but why do we make church any different? So I have a strong opinion and passion that if we come here and we're going to take time to come here and do all this and get together, and we're not ever like, if something never digs into me, or if I never work something out, or if somebody doesn't put something in my mind or my heart to think of, and we just leave, then what was the point? And so that's what this ministry time is. The ministry time, we call it ministry time. I don't really even know what that means, but we minister to each other. We love on each other. We let the Lord minister to us. But the ministry time is the time where you're coming to eat. You go to the restaurant, and that's getting your meal. You're going to the gym, and that's you working out. For lack of a better term, we just heard a great story of God calling a couple in their life and them being obedient. So what's God calling you to do? And how about this? Let's not think Africa, okay? Let's think smaller than that. He's calling you to do something. And I used to think it was always something I didn't want to do. But I don't think that's the case. I do think He's calling you to do something that might take courage to do, though. A good analogy I've thought of is so I have little kids, and so we went to an amusement park, big roller coaster. I'm just trying to get my son to want to ride on it. He's scared. I don't want to. I'm not the most patient dad, so it's kind of making me mad, but I wanted him to ride that roller coaster so bad. He was tall enough. I'm scared. Why did I want him to ride that roller coaster? I knew he would love it. I knew he would love it. I didn't have this need to let's just see if my son obeys me. That's like a power trip. Can I get my son to get on the roller coaster? I mean, I've done things like that before, but you know what I'm saying. I want him to ride the roller coaster because I know that he'll love it, and then I'll probably regret it because he never want to get off it, and we'd be stuck there forever. So I think the calling, I think, is the same. It's the same. So He's calling you to do what? I think we also have a tendency to think it has to be a big change. And so we're going to go into the next few minutes and say, God, what are you calling me to do? And chances are you kind of already know what it is. It could be as small as, I want you to call your sister who you haven't spoken to in 2 years, which is kind of a big thing, but a phone call is not a big thing. I want you to start talking to the neighbor that you kind of should talk to and reach out to and become friends with, but y'all kind of just go in your own little garages and you go home for the night. I guess I would encourage you to think small if you're having trouble thinking of anything. But what's God calling you to do? So what we're going to do in our ministry time, we don't like to just sit still and be in our own chairs. Think about what's God calling you to do. And then people would love to pray for courage for that. There's this thing I really think God's calling me to do, but I'm scared. I'm scared to get on the roller coaster. Well, that's where everyone else comes in, all right? And so if you have, it's always kind of weird to, like, how are we going to do this? But if you have something that God's calling you to do and you want prayer for it, it's hard to just, like, mind read you and be like, do you have something? Do you have something? So, I don't know, stand up, raise your hand, go tap on somebody's shoulder, or maybe go pray, go ask somebody else, and then maybe they can pray back for you. This is a very informal time if you're new here. This is a lot of walking around. It looks like we're done for the night, but we're not. Oh yeah, we also have the cross. The cross is really cool to look at, but this little thing we do sometimes is there's pen and paper under your seats. And this could be for anything, but if you want to write down what God's calling you to do, or maybe something that's blocking you from hearing what God's calling you to do. So God, I know you want me to call my sister, but I have this like resentment and this anger toward her. You can write that on that piece of paper and you can go up there and nail it to that cross. And there's nothing magical about that. It's just sometimes good for your memory and your body to like tie what you're thinking to an action. And it's a really powerful one. There's nails and hammers up there. But I'm going to pray real quick. And we are going to, oh yeah. What would I do without you back there? Telling me like what? The Rileys are back there. Wave your hands. Everyone knows you. We were going to just gather up and pray around them, but we thought it might be cool that during this ministry time, if you don't want to pray for anyone else, just go tell them hi and that you'd like to pray for them or ask them a question and use that time for this. But stick to something that you can pray for them for. If you've never really prayed for anyone, and that's they want it, right? So you guys want someone to come pray for you? So do a prayer, then move on, because a lot of people might want to pray for you. But I'm going to pray here, and we're going to go into that time. Remember, what's God calling you to do? Lord, thank you so much for what we just heard. We thank you so much that we're here tonight, and we don't want to leave the gym without working out. We don't want to leave the restaurant without eating. This is the time that we are going to pay attention to you. I'm so thankful for their story. You call each of us specifically according to where we're at, according to what you know that we are going to get so much out of. And so what may be calling for me may not be calling for you, and might not be calling for you, but the whole point is that if you can't get a calling from God if you don't have a desire to hear his voice, a desire to talk to him, a desire to have a relationship with him. So that's number one. And it may be as simple as, God, I think you're calling me to start paying attention to you. And I think a lot of us in here pay attention to God. But I know I need to, I go in and out. I might have a whole Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Thursday that it's just, God, you're not on my mind. I pray for quick remembrance of you and for you always to be on the tip of my tongue and the front of my mind and reminding me who I am and reminding me who you are. We thank you so much for your son. We thank you so much for your calling. You have the best plan. You know what the roller coaster is like. We trust you. We trust you and we love you. Amen. We're going to do... He did that on purpose. All right, we're going to do communion now. So the way we do communion here is we're just going to kind of circle up in this main part of the floor. And where's that little... Where's that? Communion's in this basket here. So if everyone wants to come up, get one.
All right. So we're just gonna kind of gather around the dinner table here, and we're gonna take communion. You know, I think it's really interesting. Like when Jesus is talking about he's talking about this, there's no kind of limitation. Like he didn't say, "Hey, when you do this, remember me like on the first of every month or once a year." And so I went to the lake last year with Little John and Darren was there, and you were there, Scarecrow, and you were there, yeah. And we went to the lake, and his stepdad, Albin, was there, and you know, he said we bought this place and we come here on the weekends and we hang out, and lots of people do that. They go to the lake for the weekend and they live there. And he said, you know, the one thing that we're missing out on is church. And just because we retreat to the lake to get away from our jobs and all these other things that we have going on, we don't need to retreat from church. And so we're going to have church every Sunday morning that we're here. And so we're sitting at this table at this lake house, and we had pancakes, because Jerome Green is like an awesome cook and just takes care of us. That's right, Jerome was there. And we had pancakes, and we took communion with pancakes and orange juice. He was like, we're going to share a meal, just like the disciples did, and we're going to remember Jesus while we're doing it. We're going to talk about what he's doing in our lives. And so we're sitting there, and we're eating pancakes and orange juice, and I'm like, is this cool? Can we do this? Like, you know, because it's the bread and the juice. And then we go out on the back deck and we sit and we just talk. Just like, not like the men that I was taught growing up, like how to be a man. You know what I mean? Like, never cry, be tough, don't be sad. You know, we sat on the back deck and we were vulnerable and we shared stories and we talked about how awesome Jesus is. And it was the best church service I think I'd ever been to up until that moment. Just 4 or 5 guys eating pancakes, drinking orange juice, talking about Jesus and how he has impacted our lives. And that's when I was like, man, I have not had this figured out for so many years. This became something that I did because you do it at church. Right? It became a task on a checklist, you know, offering plate, communion, worship. I sang most of the songs. We'll go ahead and give it that one. This was one of those things for me. And so here we are. We have an opportunity. And just the other day, Lee, where are you? Lee? I was telling Lee, I'm like, man, I love the fact that at every single meal, no matter where we're at, we can take communion together with whoever we're with. And Lee's like, yeah, I think the Quakers do that. Hey, they got it figured out, I guess. I don't know anything about Quakers, but man, every opportunity that we can get together and we can partake of these things that represent his body and his blood that was poured out for us, so that No matter how ridiculous, how destroyed we are, the bad things that we've done, we are completely cleansed, and he gives us a direct route to the Father. Why would we not want to remember that every single time we sit down? Why? Why did he say that? Food sustains life. He didn't pick, like, every time you go to the voting booth, make sure you remember me. Because that's like every 4 years. He picked something that represented his body that we have to put into our body every single day to sustain life. So it was like every single time you sit down and eat, I want you to remember what I'm about to do and who I am and how much I absolutely love you. Right? So, Father, I thank you so much for this little wafer that is not bread, but it is something that I'm going to consume that represents your broken body that was beat beyond recognition for something that you didn't do, that I did, that you gladly took from me. Thank you. And Father, I thank you for this liquid that I'm about to consume, Father, that reminds me about your blood and how precious it was, how unbelievably perfect it was. And it drained from your body for me specifically. Say that right now, me. Your blood was spilled for me. Father, I thank you so much. I thank you for your son, Jesus, my brother, my dad, the groom, for saving me.
Worship together, so if your feet aren't tired, come forward and sing with us as a family.
You know those chairs aren't comfortable. You know. Your hand inside my weary heart, Son of Man. Reach out your hand and inhale my failing heart. Son of man, reach out your hand and inside my weary heart. Son of man, reach out your hand and heal my failing heart. It's you that I still pouring into your heart is still beating over us. Your love is still pouring into us. Still beating over us. Your love is still pouring into us. Your heart is still beating over us. Love is still moving into us. Your love is so real. Love is so real. Love is so We say yes to you, Jesus. We say yes to your love. We say yes to you, Jesus. We say yes to your love. We say yes to you, Jesus. We say yes to your love. We say yes to you, Jesus. We say yes to your love. We say yes to you, Jesus. I say yes to your love. I say yes to you, Jesus. I say yes to your love. I say yes to you, Jesus. I say yes to your love. I say yes to you, Jesus. I say yes to your love. Your love is so real. Love is so Let the fragrance arise of our love to you. Let the fragrance arise of our love. Let the fragrance arise of our love to you. Fragrance arise of our love. Let the fragrance arise of our love to you. Let it rise of our love. The fragrance arise of our love to you.
deeper. I wanna know your heart. I wanna know your heart. 'Cause your love is so much stronger than anything I faced it. I wanna know your heart. I wanna know your heart.
Hey, it's good seeing everybody. We're done. Visit. We're gonna pack up and go. So, love you guys.